Looks okay. Okay, today we're off on our first trip on the e-bike for fishing, just going down to the Transporter Bridge. Now, one of the best things about the e-bike is that it changes a 30-minute walk into something like an 8-minute cycle ride. And this e-bike I have has throttle control, so you can use it without pedalling, and it's just perfect. Okay, so this bike has a range of about 20 miles, so I should theoretically be able to get down to St Bride's and back, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to wait till I get a spare battery, and then I'll with the 2 batteries I'll take a chance and go down to St Bride's and to Goldcliff and places like that, because it does sort of extend your range if you're not stuck to the buzz or walking. So I've brought a set of panniers and bungee cords, and everything's gone onto the back. We'll have a look at what I've taken shortly. But this is the first trip out, and it does make life a lot easier than walking. So as I say, when I carried my backpack and walked down to the Transporter Bridge, it's a 25-minute walk, 30-minute walk, but on the bike it's just 8. So very quick, very convenient, and of course with the bike you can carry a lot more stuff than you can using the backpack. Although there are some areas of the route which is a little bumpy, so you do need to make sure you're well secured with all your fishing tackle. Now this bike is capped at 15 mile an hour, and 15 mile an hour is quite enough, thank you very much, especially on a windy day like today. But it does look good fishing weather. Slightly overcast, it's warm, bit of a breeze blowing, but I think I might go all the way down to the Transporter Bridge itself, because it looks like there's some kids playing about on the jet ski around by the jetty area. Okay, so that's the same bike, which is what I've got. One of the nice things about it is that when you take out the key here, you have a remote control, and let's get the remote control. Just see once the key's out and you flick, and that's an alarm on. So if somebody moves it, the alarm goes off and you get noticed, but obviously I'm going to be chaining it up as well, and that's the alarm off. It's also got tracking on, but obviously I'm not going to show you where the tracking is, and I pay £6 a month and I can find out where it is on the app at any time. So if it gets stolen, I can call the police and tell them exactly where it is. So I've got double pannier on the back, which contains most of my fishing gear, and on the back, strapped down, I've got this is a 14-foot beach caster, which is telescopic. I brought my net as well. I don't normally use a net when I'm sea fishing, but I bought it just to see how it fits on the bike. Underneath I've got my new chair. It's a collapsible and telescopic deck chair, a lot smaller than that backpack one I had, but it's a little low, but it's quite comfortable enough for fishing. In here I've got a telescopic my telescopic boat rod, the 10-foot one. I've got a tripod for filming, got my foot pump just in case something goes wrong, and a few bits and pieces like water and caps and stuff like that, and I've got some more recording equipment here. On the other side, on my back pannier, I've got, I'll show more, but I've got a tub with my bait, which I'm using prawns today, and some weights. I'm just using 3-ounce bum weights. I've got two types. I've got a normal bum weight and one with the gripper as well, and my reels are in there as well. So and I've got a pair of gloves in there as well. So that's everything all fitted onto the panniers quite nicely. It was quite a good ride down. It rattled about a bit, so I do need to look at those panniers and maybe do a bit of a better fitting. But overall, very happy with the trip down here. Very happy with the amount of stuff I can get on it. With all the stuff on it, I have drained the battery a little bit more than when I'm just cycling it on its own. So I don't think I'd probably make it there and back to St Bride's or Gold Cliff. Looking at what I've done, I think you've probably got about an 8 to 12 mile range max with all the stuff loaded up. And I mean, I'm not exactly lightweight either. I mean, I've just lost a stone over the last month, but I'm still 17 stone, so that's still quite a weight. And with all the stuff on the back. But yeah, it works out really, really well. So once I get a spare battery, we might head off down to St Bride's for a bit of fishing, or we might head off to Gold Crest or somewhere like that. But until then, we'll stick to the DRT buzzies. But let's get unloaded, get set up and get fishing. Okay, so that's the fishing chair, my new fishing chair. I've got, it's a little bit low, but it's quite wide enough and it's very comfortable for maybe a couple of hours. But again, as you're walking, going on the buzz or using a bike, it's all about getting that weight right. And that is a very lightweight chair. But let's have a look. I mean, I've extended the beach pole, but let's have a look at what's in the my tackle bag. Right, so let's unzip it. So I've got my small KC fishing reel. That's for my 10-foot boat rod, if I get out, which I might do. Then I've got my beach caster rod, which is the KT 7000. Then on top of that, we've got a little bit of bait, but that's my main bait in there. I've got some shrimp in that tub with my weights. I've got 2 gripper weights, 3-ounce gripper weights. Let's have a look at it. There you go, 2 3-ounce gripper weights and 3 or 4 bum weights, just in case it goes off. Out. Then I've got my my rigs, which are on little foam covers, and that's it. That's all you need really for a bit of sea fishing. I've got some filming gear down there, I've got my beach rod down there, and of course in here, in this side, I've got the Mac. I've got over trousers and also a packer jacket as well, and water and a tripod. So there's quite a lot you can actually fit into these areas. But let's get set up and let's start some fishing. Well, that didn't last very long. I've moved on. I was there for about maybe 40-45 minutes, had a couple of casts, and a group of the local kids came up. Heard them arriving, but I didn't see them, and I was just messing around, and I stood up, looked over at the bike, and one of them was trying to creep up on it. He was half bent over, sneaking up, trying to nick it. So I spent a little bit more time there, but every time I looked around, the kids were looking at the bike. I mean, the one I spotted ran off as soon as he saw me see him. So I just decided after half an hour, I just really wasn't feeling very comfortable there. It is Pill, sadly not the best of places in Newport. So I packed up my gear and I moved on. I did have a look at down at where I normally fish, but there's nowhere to secure the bike. So if I'm going to go fishing on the e-bike, I'm going to have to try and find somewhere else in Newport, because clearly the Transporter Bridge, even though it's got somewhere where you can chain your bike up to, just isn't safe enough to go fishing there reasonably comfortably. I mean, he when he was sneaking up, he wouldn't have got the bike. I mean, it was chained up and the alarm was on, so as soon as he moved it, I'd have heard the alarm go off. Even if he tried to cut through the wire to release the bike, the alarm would have gone off, and there's tracking on it as well anyway. But even so, on a Sunday afternoon when you go fishing, the last thing you want to do is to get into a bit of aggro with the local kids. So I shan't bother fishing down there anymore. It's not a safe place. Stay away from Pill area, and try and find somewhere safer and more comfortable to fish in future. So that's my next task. Find somewhere in Newport I can take an e-bike and fish without it being stolen. But until then, tight lines. I hope you enjoyed the video, and like, subscribe and share if you want to see more videos, or not more videos like this. Cheers.